Now, solubility, it is defined as the maximum amount of solute dissolved in solvent is at its equilibrium. I again repeat that these 3 points. So effect of temperature on solute, potassium chloride, sodium chloride and sodium bromide, it is shows very less soluble when temperature increases. But potassium nitrate, sodium nitrate and potassium bromide, it's appreciably soluble when temperature is increases. And third is showing here the sodium sulfate, its solubility is decreases. Here showing solubility is decreases downward when temperature is rises. Its representation is sufficient to understand effect of temperature on solute. And next point is, some points are included here. When some substances you can given the temperature, the solubility is increases, but not of all substances. For example, sodium sulfate. And another one is some substances when you can get a heat, this is absorb the heat, and some substances you can dissolve in solvent, get evolve the heat. Which is the examples in 12th standard? Some practicals are you can also done now current year. KNO3, potassium nitrate, this substance can accept the temperature or take on the temperature, and this is called endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction means a primary temperature is less and after the temperature can absorb, it is called as endothermic reaction. What is exothermic reaction? Some solutes or substances evolve the heat. It is called as exothermic reaction. For example, NaOH, when you can mix with the water as a solvent, some amount of heat is evolved, means the solute dissolved in water, some amount of heat is evolved. It's not require much amount of heat to dissolve. When this sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water, it's already evolved the heat, amount of heat. Calcium carbonate, this solute are also evolve the heat when we react the water, means this is the some examples. Another number of examples present here. Some substances are require amount of heat, some substances are evolve the heat. These reactions are some reactions endothermic, some reactions are exothermic reactions. Now next, solubility of gases. Some points we will discuss in yesterday. Solubility of gases are depends on the pressure. It's not depends on the temperature. Now second points we will see capacity of solution to dissolve solutes. Second points, factor affecting second points, capacity of solution to dissolve the solutes. त्याच्यातलं दुसरा पॉइंट आहे effect of pressure on solubility. Effect of pressure on solubility. Now this point, the pressure does not affect on solid and liquids, but the pressure affects on gases. Why? The solid and liquids are incompressible. Solid and liquids are incompressible, hence does not affect the effect of pressure. But gas is effect of pressure. When a maximum amount of pressure, you can apply the gas molecule soluble a more and much amount, a large amount of soluble. Now we see the examples. The pressure has no effect of, we will already discuss here, the pressure does not affect the solid and liquid, but pressure affect the gases and increase the solubility of a solution, solute. A number of examples very well known. Soda gas, CO2 gas mixed in water, or a closed soft drinks bottles, closed soft drink bottles. It's one of the good example of factor affecting the pressure on solubility of gases. Now CO2 gas is packed in the bottle. When you can tear the cap, the large amount of efferences are getting outside, because a much more amount of pressure, CO2 gas, is filled in these soft drink bottles. When the outer pressure, outer atmospheric pressure is less, the inside pressure of the bottle is very much high. When the cap is tear, the pressure can be expelled out and efferences of CO2 gas is outside of the bottle. This and another much more examples of the effect of pressure on solubility of gases. Anyone problem? Okay. Then this effect explained by Henry's law. What is the Henry's law? The scientist Henry in 1803 explained by his law, the solubility is directly proportional. Solubility is proportional to the pressure of the gas in bar over the solution. Henry stated that the solubility of a gas is proportional to the pressure, and solubility is proportional to pressure. Henry stated that if any gas, it depends on its solubility, depends on pressure. Means if you can increase the pressure, a much more amount of gas is dissolved or mixed in the solution. And Henry say that any gas, its solubility is proportional to pressure. How much amount of pressure you can require. So pressure is equal to force upon area. Pressure is force upon area. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal and CGS unit is dyne, because it's essential when you can solve the problems. Conversion is needed. Solubility of gas is directly proportional to the pressure, and K is proportionality constant. When you can write down the K is Kp, and K is equal to solubility into pressure. Proportionality constant you can calculate it by S upon P, proportionality constant, and this is measured in moles per liter per bar. Unit is moles, mole per liter bar. Here is one of the some examples. Soft drink bottles, you very well known. Soft drink bottles, of all bottles, a pressurized here inserted the CO2 gas. When tear the cap, atmospheric pressure is when the lower, the inner side pressure is higher, and evaporate this CO2 gas, some amount of gas. But here the exception is ammonia and CO2. What is the exception of Henry's law? Henry's law does not applicable to these two gases. NH3 gas. Exceptions is NH3 and CO2. Why? Because ammonia reacts with water, H2O, and to gives NH4 plus OH minus. Reacts with water, because gas reacts with water to form different substance, different product. And same of CO2 reacts with H2O to form H2CO3, and hence this is the exceptions. Why this is exceptions? Because the solubility of these gases, the solubility of this ammonia and CO2 is already very less as compared to Henry's proportionality constant, and hence these two gases is the exceptions. Higher solubility of these gases, ammonia and CO2, its solubility is very higher as compared to expected solubility of Henry's law. Means Henry's law cannot be calculated or explain the solubility of ammonia and carbon dioxide, and hence these two gases is the exception, ammonia and CO2. And one of the example here, the O2 gas is soluble in H2O less amount. O2 gas is less amount of soluble in water, but it is highly soluble in blood, and hence it can be bonded to the hemoglobin. This is the one of the exceptions. O2 is less amount of soluble. O2 gas is less amount of soluble in water, but it's much more soluble in blood. These all points are related to the Henry's law, because Henry's law say that solubility of solute is proportional to the pressure, and hence when you can apply the large amount of pressure, the solubility of gases is increases. But these some examples are exceptions, and hence it is essential to know that it's not applicable to all examples. Because which examples? Here is ammonia and CO2, because its solubility is already higher, much more, as expected by Henry's law. And another example, we see that O2 gas is less amount of soluble in water, but it is highly soluble in blood, and hence it is easily bonded to the hemoglobin. And to form the bonding of hemoglobin, HbO2 4. Here is one of the reaction. Here shows Hb plus 4O2 to form the HbO2 4, and containing a much more amount of oxygen in our body, and it's easy to survive. It is the theoretical some examples here. One of the problem in your book we can solve here, how to calculate the solubility. And solubility is this, Henry say that the solubility of solute is proportional to pressure, and this is K is proportionality constant, where K proportionality constant is equal to solubility divided by pressure, and its unit is moles per liter per bar. These relations we can also show when we solve the problems, because the atmospheric pressure, bar pressure, and mmHg pressure, these all terms you can require when you can solve the problems. 160 mmHg pressure is actual 1 atmospheric pressure. We can see here the problems. Hello students.
हाँ सर.
हो सर.
हाँ सर. हेलो.
हो सर.
बोला ना सर.
आहेत. ठीक है. Problem, Henry's law constant for gas is methyl bromide. Henry's law constant of CH3Br is 11th number problem in your exercise. For a gas, constant of gas is 0.159 moles per dm cube. What is the solubility of methyl bromide in water at 25 degrees Celsius, and partial pressure of 0.164 atmosphere. Here is given you options. I'm not write here the options, but 4 options there. One is the 0.0159 moles per liter. Second option, B option is 0.164 moles per liter, and C option is 0.26 mole, and fourth option is 0.042 moles. It's very easy. Here is clearly say that Henry's constant CH3 bromide. What is Henry's constant? KCH3Br value. It's very easy. Moles per dm cube. Another is, say that solubility. What is the value of solubility? S is equal to 0.164 atmospheric pressure. And you can calculate here. Ask the solubility, sorry, here is partial pressure P, and calculate its solubility. You know that the formula of solubility constant KCH3 Pr is equal to solubility and pressure. Solubility is equal to KCH3Br into pressure. Put this value here. Solubility constant, Henry's law constant is 0.159 mole per dm cube into 0.164. You can put this value and you can get the answer. What is the answer? Anyone? Solubility of methyl bromide is 0.26 moles. Okay. Next example are also here. This example solve in your book and seen you there. I'm say that only one point discussed here. This problem 130 mm Hg. It's required to convert the bar. Not whole problem I am explain here. Only this point is essential, because in this way you can directly write down and solve this example. Already solved in your book. Only there discuss this point 130 mm Hg. Convert to bar. This is multiply by 1 upon 760 mm Hg and get converted into the amount of, you can get the amount of 0.71 atmosphere, and this 0.71 atmosphere multiply by 1.03 bar per atmosphere. In this way, this one example is sufficient. Now next point is vapor pressure of solution of liquids in liquids. Vapor pressure of solution of liquids in liquids. It is explained by Raoult's law. When the two components or substances solute, two binary solute mix in a closed container, evaporate its a certain amounts, and certain amounts eventually they stop the evaporation and equilibrium between the vapor pressure and amount of liquid, and this is explained by Raoult's law. Vapor pressure of solutions liquid in liquids.
सर
हॅलो, हाँ बोला ना
सर, या लेसनचे नोट सेंड करा ना PDF.
कसला
या लेसनची PDF सेंड करा ना.
हो 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 चालेल. ठीक आहे. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रॉल्स लॉ. Vapor pressure of solutions of liquid in liquids. Firstly, we see the Raoult's law. What is Raoult's law? Raoult's law say that the partial vapor pressure, it is the product of partial pressure of pure solute multiplied by components mole fraction of that components in that solution. Or another type of definitions are also there, but first we discuss the how to explain the Raoult's law. Here the partial vapor pressure of any volatile components in solution is equal to vapor pressure of pure components multiplied by mole fractions. We discussed only Raoult's law and graphical representations we see tomorrow. Now what is Raoult's law and partial vapor pressure and soluble components? The partial vapor pressure of, if the binary mixture two components mix in a closed container, evaporating substances, these evaporating substances evaporate certain amount, and after this evaporation is stopped, an equilibrium is formed in between the pressure of that component and mole fractions of that component in present solution. And this explained by Raoult's. And Raoult's law say that what is the partial vapor pressure of that solute of component, explained by the partial vapor pressure of the substance is the product of partial vapor pressure of that component multiplied by mole fractions of that component present in solution. It's very easy. Suppose that the component of P1, its partial vapor pressure, P01 is vapor pressure and X1 is mole fractions, and we can be consider the two components, and these terms we can write here. The partial vapor pressure of P1 is equal to P01 into X1, P2 is equal to P02 into X2. These equations you can understand very easily. Partial vapor pressure, it is the partial vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of first component, it is the product of partial vapor pressure of that component into or multiplied by mole fraction of that component. Very easy to understand here. What is Raoult's law? When we check the answer sheets, a number of types of Raoult's law we can be check it. Different types of Raoult's law. It's very easy. Today we only see the definition of Raoult's law, statement of Raoult's law, and Raoult's law also depends on Dalton's law. Dalton's law we can see the tomorrow. First we only see the partial vapor pressure of any volatile component of solution equal to vapor pressure of the pure component multiplied by mole fractions in the solutions. We can say again, the statements of Raoult's law say that the partial vapor pressure of that component is the product of partial vapor pressure of the component multiply by mole fractions of that solution. It's a Raoult's law, and this is explained by component A1 and A2. These A1 and A2 are two substances create a partial vapor pressure in closed container, and these terms can be explained by vapor pressure P1 and partial vapor pressure P01 into multiplication of mole fraction. And similar way, another substance vapor pressure is equal to partial vapor pressure multiplied by its mole fraction in this solution. In this way, the next point we will continue tomorrow. Five minutes left there. Dalton's law also we can see here. What is the Dalton's law? Total pressure of mixture of gases is the sum of partial vapor pressure of the gases. Because this law is also required here, hence what say the Daltons? Dalton state that total vapor pressure of the component, it is the sum of partial vapor pressure of that component. Means this is the partial vapor pressure of P1 and P2. Summation of these two terms is the total vapor pressure, and this explained by Daltons. And hence it is also essential to explain the Raoult's law, and it is very much easy. Raoult's law, it depends on partial vapor pressure terms and mole fractions. Hello? Hello?
हाँ सर.
हाँ, काही टर्म्स आहेत विचारायचे? काय अडचण आहे?
नाही सर.
खूप चॅटिंग केली तुम्ही.
नाही.
हाँ, ठीक है. Some problems are also we see the tomorrow. Henry's law, some basic problem, because atmospheric pressure and bar pressure, this relation are also is essential to know that. Because this relation is important when the some terms you can convert the atmospheric pressure to bar pressure. Units are also you are well known is essential, and hence it is very much important to know. Okay. We can continue the Raoult's law, but it's not a much more time. Hence this is a remains and half not complete here. Hence we can stop here. Otherwise we can complete the Raoult's law, because here explanation of the Raoult's law, P1 and P2 pressure, graphical representation, it's a limited time. We cannot explain. Hence we are stop here, because tomorrow we can explain this graphical representation when the temperature rises. Raoult's law show the graphically the P1 pressure, P2 pressure, and when the P1 is rises, the mole fraction is 0. X1 is equal to 1, then mole fraction is 0, and when the X1 means mole fraction is 1, the pressure is 0. These terms we will be explain details tomorrow. because these points will not be completed now. Hence we will stop there. But the Henry's law we can be done now readily, and this terms is essential. Mostly we can showing the two factors. First factor is temperature affected by the solute and solvent. Another is affect by the pressure on gases. Which gases affected, which gases does not affected. Its point is also essential, and hence this all you can be study very carefully, then you can solve. It helps to solving the problem. If any query, you can ask anytime. It's okay. If any problem, you can ask me.